Hi, thanks for joining Kari in the Vineyard. I'm Kari Auringer and I'm the winemaker for Cornerstone Cellars. And we are out in the vineyard today on a kind of a cold winter morning. It's January, but lots happening out here, and there's a lot of activity going on. We've gone through the holidays. We got through harvest in the fall, and as winter came on, the vines go dormant. They take a little nap during the winter. And now we're getting ready to do pruning in January, February, and as late as March. So we have about 3 months where we'll be able to come in and prune the vineyards and give them their winter haircut. The vines are still dormant. This is the perfect time to prune, and the crews are out all over the valley. It's kind of fun to see all the activity. There's a couple of things about pruning that it really takes some skill. It's something that you really need to learn. There's a way to do pruning. There's a number of ways to do pruning. These are the vineyard we're in now is our Yountville vineyard. We're right, not that far, a mile or so from the new Cornerstone tasting room in Yountville. So we're out here today, and the crews have come through part of our block, and they have done pre-pruning. And I'll swing around here. So pre-pruning is an opportunity to get, if you've got crew available, you're not ready to do the final prune down to the spurs to do the final pruning, but you come through and you can do a pre-prune, which is just coming through and cutting off at about this length, and then pulling all this out of the wires, which is time consuming, and it does slow the crew down when they're out here to actually do pruning. So one of the things about working in the vineyard is everything is done in a pass. So you do one pass and you pre-prune, then you'll come back through and do a pass for your prune. Then you might come back and do another pass where you need to tie canes down. So you're always doing one operation at a time instead of trying to do a number of different things. So in this block, we have now done pre-pruning. And you can see everything's been cut off. The wires are all clear of all the canes from last year. And then when we're ready to do the final prune, we'll come back through, same thing, take our little shears out, and then just do the pruning down to, in this particular instance, since we're doing a vertical shoot positioning, we're going to prune down to 2 bud spurs or 1 bud spur, depending on the vine. And then during the course of the year, these will grow back up again through the wires. So there's a art, like I said, there's a real skill to it. I think there's an art to it, to pruning. And it's really a matter of being able to look at each vine and look to see what has it be balanced. Because there are years when we've got tons of water and the vines will throw out so much growth, and there'll be really more than the vine can handle. So you really kind of need to look at not what you're just doing for this coming vintage in 2022, but you're looking to see what's going to happen to that vine in a year from now. So it's really, I liken it to shooting pool. So you're shooting pool, you want to get your first shot, but you also are setting yourself up for the second shot. So you're pruning for the first year, and then you're also keeping in mind the second year. And is the vine balanced? Can it hold the amount of canopy that it had last year? Can it hold that amount of fruit? And your amount of fruit's determined by how many buds you leave, how many canes you let go. So it's really fascinating to watch a crew go through. We have pruning contests here in Napa and in Sonoma to see who's the best, fastest pruners, and boy, there are some out there. And I'm not going to prune this vineyard today. I'm going to leave that to the experts for sure. But this will be the next block that we'll do. And you can see there's some nice little yellow flowers in there. That's the mustard that's growing up in between the rows. And that's a cover crop that we use over the winter. We get that planted late fall, early winter, and it blooms over winter when we're getting all of our rains. And happily this year, we've gotten lots of rain, and it actually started early and through the holidays, which was great. We could certainly use a little bit more, but I don't mind seeing a nice sunny day like this either. So this cover crop will stay until springtime, and then it'll get plowed, disked under, and then the plants are using that as nutrients in the soil. And the other thing that you will do is you either mow your cover crop or disc it under, is because in the spring we get frost. And in fact, you can see a frost fan right there. Let's see, right there, a frost fan. And so when the temperature does get down into the low 30s and there's danger of frost, those fans will go on keep the air circulating, keep that cold air off the valley floor, and protect those tender buds. This year we're having, this is I think happening just a little bit early, is, take this off, oops, sorry about that. We are starting to get a little bit of bud softening, and they're starting to push. So while it is only January and there is more rain coming, it does look like we might have bud break a little bit early this year. So we're going to keep you posted on what's going on in the vineyard. Right now we're going through making all of our pruning passes and tying and training new vines. If we've got a new vineyard, we're training new vines to into the cordon system, and there's a lot going on here. So that's it for pruning today. We will keep you posted. We'll come back out and let you know how we're doing out here in the vineyard when bud break happens and flowering. So lots of activity going on now. So until then, thank you for joining us out in the vineyard today in our Yountville vineyard. And next week we are going to be back in the kitchen. They'll be carrying the kitchen next week. We've got some really good episodes coming up, and Valentine's Day is coming up, so we've got a few recipes for that. So I hope you'll join us next week. Until then, bye. Thank you.